And joining us now via satellite from Houston, Texas is Mr. Andrew Lai. He's the Chief Financial Officer of Lucas Energy on the American Stock Exchange, LEI. Andrew, welcome to the program.
Don, thanks for having me.
Now, Andrew, Lucas Energy describes itself as a domestic onshore oil company operating in Texas. We're very pleased to be reinitiating coverage of the company this week. Can you give us a general overview, please?
Well, our business model is very simple. I mean, we work on very oil-rich land, and then we drill and produce. Currently, we started the company with a bunch of existing properties. Some people may call old wells that many of them has been abandoned. We rework them and increase the production. And also, we are in addition to just reworking on the old wells, we're also drilling new wells in the area. We only drill in proved reserves area. We don't do any wildcats. So every time we drill, there's a high chance of success.
Well, Andrew, I've noticed in the last year and even over the last several days, substantial national analyst coverage of the company. We saw Jim Cramer last year, the Motley Fool in the last week or so. That has to be very satisfying for the company.
More than satisfying. I think Bill and my vision is we are trying to grow a small company to big on a piece of very promising and valuable land. And we are so glad that people are now noticing us, knowing that there is value in this company. And it's a management goal to really maximize any shareholders' investment.
Well, now, Lucas announced last week it had purchased Hall Phoenix Energy's right, title, and interest in certain oil, gas, and mineral leases in the Eagle Ford-Austin Chalk trend. Tell us about that deal.
Well, we have about 47 net acres in the Eagle Ford. I mean, that's the starting point that we want to monetize. And in this process of trying to monetize our original 4,700 Eagle Ford acres, this deal came to us, and this is what the industry called the Eagle Bind, which is really the Eagle Ford trend that has Woodbine formation in it. And there are a lot of industry pundits talking about this Eagle Bind area is going to be a very promising play. So at this point, I mean, when we were offered to buy that package and knowing that we're trying to monetize our original 4,700 acres, it just gives us a lot of different options, to monetize our 4,700 net Eagle Ford acres. I mean, together with this newly purchased Eagle Bind, we have about 9,000 net acres. So that gives us a lot of different options and different arrangements that we can look into.
Well, Andrew, we've been following the company for about 3 years. Your CEO, Bill Sawyer, has always been very positive about Eagle Ford-Austin Chalk. This is something the company has always been very positive about, the Eagle Ford-Austin Chalk trend, correct?
Well, we went into the area about 3 years ago, and Bill was saying that Eagle Ford is so much undervalued, but we got into the area. And then now, Eagle Ford is the hottest play in U.S. There are big companies, Marathon, EOG, they are all in there. And with the more recent transactions, we know that we have seen buyer paying between $15,000 to $30,000 per acre. So we like Eagle Ford. Now, however, Eagle Ford for a small company like Lucas could be a little bit risky because currently to drill an Eagle Ford well, vertical and horizontal together, is about between $7 to $9 million. And small companies like Lucas, to us, it's going to be a little bit too risky to put that kind of money into one well and drill. So we really want to just focus on Eagle Chalk, which we think we are also, I mean, it is very undervalued. The wells that were drilled there back in the mid-90s, they were drilled vertically. And now with the technologies we have and the experience we have in the area, we believe that when we drill the horizontal portion, any horizontal well in that area, we're going to recognize a whole lot more production. So now the game plan is, we like Eagle Ford, but knowing that we are a small company, we would just like to monetize our Eagle Ford position, and any funds, any proceeds we get from that monetization, we're going to put it to drill the Austin Chalk.
Again, the company is Lucas Energy on the American Stock Exchange, LEI. Andrew, we've seen a fair amount of activity from the company in the last few months. You've sold off some assets, you've made some acquisitions. Is this a trend that we can expect going forward in 2012?
Oh yeah. When I say we are a typical exploration and production company, I mean it's more production. Land acquisition and land divestiture is going to be part of the picture in addition to production. So when we see a good piece of properties with huge potential, well, if we can buy low and sell high and make money for the company, we're all for it. So currently, since we have established ourselves pretty well the last few years in the area, we have landowners. They like to do business with us, and they would like to discuss what's the best use of their land with us. And so we are getting quite popular in the area, so it makes it easier for us to acquire additional acreages.
Well, new trouble in the Middle East, specifically in Iran, pushed oil prices back around $100 a barrel periodically. Now, when this kind of thing happens, it must really reinforce the company's business model of being domestic and onshore based.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. I mean, we try to stay just domestic. Onshore is the safest play in today's oil and gas. I mean, compare if you have to drill in West Africa or China or Brazil. What we have onshore, domestic, U.S. in the middle of Texas is the safest bet.
Well, the last time I spoke with your CEO, William Sawyer, he mentioned the company was going to concentrate on increasing production. Is there any news to update on the progress in that regard?
Oh, sure. Gross production. Okay, gross production, we have been able to keep around 195 to 200 barrels a day. But we are shooting to really increase production for the last 6 months of our fiscal year, which is from October 1st to March 31st, 2012. We would like to average 300 barrels a day, gross production. And then we would like to get to an exit rate of 500 barrels a day. And then we'll go from there.
Again, Lucas Energy, LEI on the American Stock Exchange. Andrew, why is this a good time right now for folks to take a closer look at Lucas Energy?
Well, you mentioned a moment ago about the oil price. Even though personally I really do not like the oil price to go like two-way sky high, like 120, 125. I would like to keep the oil price, between, I guess, 95 to, 105 is fair, and we are not going to inhibit the economy growth. But right now, I think a high oil price environment and also the potential we can get from our monetization of our Eagle Ford, like 9,000 acres of our Eagle Ford. And then knowing that we're going to use the money to put it back into the land to increase production, and perhaps we can also allocate some of the money to do some kind of a cash dividend or stock dividend. I think 2012 is going to be a big year for Lucas, and so I think this is the best time for people to look at Lucas and really understand what we're trying to do.
On the American Stock Exchange, LEI, Lucas Energy, we've been talking with their Chief Financial Officer, Andrew Lai. Andrew, we're reinitiating coverage of the company this week. We'll be following you very closely once again for the next several months. Thanks for being with us. Looking forward to some updates from you soon.
Again, thanks for having me.